On July 25, 2024, GSC dropped the news. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 was delayed to November 20th. Unfortunate, but not a big deal. The good news was the announcement of the developer deep dive on the 12th of August, which at the time of this upload is right around the corner. The hype couldn't be higher, but let's dial back a bit, shall we?
Stalkers, the zone will remain out of bounds until November 20th, pending the completion of the ward's official affairs. Consider this as me giving you time to prepare better. Over.
You gotta be kidding me. Really? Again? Ah, give me a break.
The new trailer, although very short, showcased some very nice details. The location is the quarry from Call of Pripyat, that has been reworked to great effect. The design and size of the excavation machine is even closer to real life, and I bet we'll be able to climb on top and explore it, probably to find something interesting inside. We can see some of the bubble anomalies hanging in the air around its structure, so I can assume the player will have to both mind his steps and the anomalies to avoid a nasty fall and bubbly injuries. In the scene, Skiff is holding the VSS Vintorez, an iconic weapon of the S.T.A.L.K.E.R arsenal. He receives the message from Colonel Korshunov, who will be a new important character. Korshunov is of course the leader of the Ward, a new faction tasked to ensure the safety of the Scientific Institute for Research in the Chornobyl anomalous area, and which acts as a kind of police force within the zone. So it makes sense for him to be the one announcing some sort of lockdown of the area. Then Skiff takes out his PDA, and that's where things get really cool, as we got an unfiltered glimpse at part of the map. Let's focus on that, since the rest of the icons are the same as we already saw in the Time of Opportunities trailer. If we compare the PDA map with the paper map, we can see it fits quite well, and the shown part is located right where the Red Forest is. The marker reveals that the quarry is on the northern edge of the forest. Just like in Call of Pripyat, it is in the vicinity of Yaniv Station. The train tracks lead straight to the power plant, where we recognize the sarcophagus and the shape of the 6 old generators. It was teased by GSC that the center of the zone, known as the Dead Valley, is located above the CNPP and also contains generators, so I assume there will be 2 sets of generators in the game, those at the power plant, possibly a decoy, and those at the center, the real thing. South of the Red Forest we have Rostock and the top of the vehicle scrapyard. Also, this area seems to be Yantar, which has been rotated slightly more than 90 degrees. We can even see the shape of the science bunker where the lake used to be. It must have been connected to this body of water before it went dry. Speaking of which, the river here goes north along the side of the Red Forest, and its shape is very familiar. That's right, this is without a doubt the entrance to the town of Limansk, which is completely covered by fog on the map. Some believe this is a fog of war effect that hides the areas the player has not yet visited, but I disagree. Personally, I think this is simply the edge of the map, at least for now, because my prediction is that Limansk will be added in one of the story expansions. It is worth noting this area is left blank on the paper map, only bearing the inscription False Path or they lie, which hints at the fact this way is not utilized by stalkers, or the trail has not been discovered yet. There are many more landmarks on the map, but they are either new or too blurry to clearly make out, so I won't bother with them for the time being. Lastly, we get a quick look at the notes section of the PDA, with 5 different menus. The 3 dots could be something like the options, the USB stick for digital data, the folder for documents, the sheet of paper for physical data, and the sound wave for audio logs. Now let's move on to the build-up towards the big event. Starting 4 days early, GSC dropped a teaser every single day to get the hype going. Also, we gradually learned more details about the developer deep dive in itself. The show is scheduled to last 45 minutes, although GSC said there will be around 30 minutes worth of news. Without a doubt, this is going to be the largest drop of information and footage for S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 we've ever had so far, with exclusive interviews, behind the scenes, an overview of the game world, and of course the uncut gameplay for an entire quest. Time to take a look at these juicy teasers. For starters, the Steam page for the event gave us a good teaser in the form of a hand waving in the poppy field. We know the poppy field is supposed to be an arch anomaly of some sort, so it is unclear what this short clip means, though considering the quality, it is likely taken from an in-game cutscene. Some people believe this will be part of one of the endings for the game, but I guess we'll have to wait for the release to find out. In the first video, Skiff is standing near a small river, holding the echo detector and PMM pistol. He turns around, revealing what appears to be a clearing in the Red Forest, where a huge anomaly is located. It is one of those claw-shaped formations that are sometimes created under the influence of gravitational and thermal anomalies. Clear Sky had 3 of these, 2 rather small at Agroprom and Yantar, and a much larger and dangerous one in the Red Forest, often referred to as the Symbiont, although I'm not really sure where this name comes from. Many people suspect this teaser is actually showing us the brand new look of that very Symbiont, which has been reworked much like the Quarry. Unlike the old Symbiont, this one has some of those bubble anomalies floating around, and there does not seem to be any distortion effects in the sky that would indicate the presence of a strong psi field covering the anomaly. Looking at the map of the Red Forest, some believe this area is somewhere around here, but we don't know for sure just yet. The second video takes place at Chornobyl 2, the small town where Duga radar is located. The large street with Soviet-style apartment building reminds of the Pripyat main alley from Shadow of Chernobyl. But don't be fooled, this is indeed Chornobyl 2 and not Pripyat, as confirmed by the appearance of the Duga antennas at the end. At first I thought it could be Limansk, but the array is in full here, therefore it can only be the real Duga. As for the building, it is true that the developers used similar designs for the main street of Pripyat back in Shadow of Chernobyl, but this is not accurate to the real-life city. Indeed, Pripyat only has flat rooftops, and it looks like the town will be much more accurate to its real-life counterpart in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. We can't clearly make out what's behind the windows of the building, but some suggest there could be anomalies tearing the place from inside. Lastly, Skiff is using the Ukrainian Vulcan M assault rifle, and seems to be wearing the same suit as Richter. Moving on to the third video, that showcased the rookie village in Kordon. Overall, the area looks very similar to the original, except much more detailed of course. It seems to be more overgrown and less filled with the junk compared to its showcase from 2021. There are several stalkers around, and the derelict vehicles like the car and bus are still here. Also, we noticed that the cables on the power lines are still up, while they were destroyed in Shadow of Chernobyl and Clear Sky. Furthermore, the large wall of the perimeter can barely be seen in the distance. Not much more to say here. GSC is playing the nostalgia card, and it's working. Now for the fourth and last video. Again we see a claw-shaped anomaly, although a different one this time around. Skiff is also much closer, actually navigating the field with the Gale-K detector and the bolts. It looks like he's wearing the same suit as Richter again. The anomalies here are gravitational in nature, possibly vortexes, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, we can see the silhouette of a stalker in the distance. I think it is very nice we're getting more anomalous formations with large effects on the surrounding terrain, as these are always much more interesting than just normal anomalies scattered here and there. It reminds me of this artwork, and I bet there will be many more unique anomaly fields in the game. The big event is almost upon us and I'm beyond excited for this one. The plan is as follows. The legend, It's Tommy Love, will stream his hardcore fan reaction live on Twitch, and I'll join him right after the show to discuss everything we've seen. The link is in the description. I hope to see you there. In case you can't make it, no big deal. The replay will be available on his YouTube channel, and I'm also planning to make my own analysis video afterwards. This is what we've been waiting for, stalkers. So grab your bolts, get the equipment, and I'll see you very soon in the zone.